Good morning. Well, last night we had an amazing event at my house and our apartment. It was um, it was a group of my closest circle, some of them, and they don't know each other other than through me. And there was some that did from church. Pastor Mike Caballero and his family, and Lisa Cortez and um, Pastor Clark Ortiz, and Bernadette Kim was here, and she presented on financial literacy, and she she just pounds the point, right? But everybody was paying attention, and then we're in the middle of Daniel fast, right? And so I had Ugo Cardenas um, came and actually supplied our um, our vegetables for our vegetable kebabs, so we could stick to the Daniel fast. And and then he talked about, he brought his superfood smoothie, his world famous superfood smoothie, and 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 educated people. Oh yeah, yeah. And then hibiscus and butterfly, explaining the benefit of that and how what we've done with even our water is, you know, taking all the benefit out of out of it just by taking all the nutrients out of it, all the minerals out of it, and and it was, he was impressed, and he's not easy to impress. Okay, and um he can be pretty argumentative, right? But there was a lot of activity going on, and but it's how the it's how the valley is, right? and and it was, but everybody got to know everybody, and everybody was, everybody wanted more of everybody else's stuff. Everybody wanted more about the financial literacy. Everybody wanted more about the superfoods and nutrition, education, and all that, and it was awesome. It was, yeah, for sure, a culturally diverse event here in our apartment last night, for sure, and it was a lot of energy. Um, I was reading, so I'm doing the first chapter of Genesis, first chapter of Psalms, and the first chapter of Proverbs. I'm reading them every day for a month, and so this has been going on in my mind since I started doing this. It reminds me of mission planning when you're a new SEAL. Okay, and it's like, okay, so there was God, and there was darkness over the water, and and so God decided to separate the light from the darkness, and He said the light was good. Okay, and then He um, separated the water and the air from the water from the from the ocean, and in between that was the sky, right? And then He pooled the water all together, and there that became the land, and then he created the the fish and the birds and the beasts of the field and then man and woman and everything was good. Okay, but the way he was doing it was like somebody doing, like the way they describe it, like doing it for the first time. They want to try like somebody cooking for the first time, right? All right, we're gonna try some of this and some of that, and it was good. It tasted good, right? All right, all right. Then you get to the first chapter of Psalms, and it's Vernon just telling you who the wrong people that are around are. These people are going to drag you down with them. They're going to pull you into their sin and make it sound real good and fun, but they're going to pull you into the pit with them. And it says it's like they're setting themselves up to ambush themselves. Think about that. I kept thinking about that, and oh man, in the Panama invasion, we're all getting ready, and we're carrying max load. I was carrying 13 fully loaded magazines of 5.56. I think I had like 5 HE rounds, and I had plus my radio and water. And I was lightest because I was carrying a radio. I couldn't carry as much bullets as everybody else. And the commanding officer goes, what are you guys doing? These guys are just going to lay down their weapons and run away. Right? Well, they didn't do that, I'll tell you. Okay. And it's like foolishness. So when it's David talking about this in Psalms. You don't want to follow somebody who's setting up to get themselves ambushed. You follow me? It's stupid. All right. And then Solomon comes along in Psalms and says, okay, we're writing this so everybody knows the right way to live, and and so they can, okay. He's like me making a mission statement in Proverbs that, okay, this is the operator's manual. That's kind of what he's saying in the very first chapter of it. Okay, so with that ties in because Ugo is talking about how we got away, and it's like all this GMO created food, right? Or all this, like God created all these plants with, all these seeds to grow more, and then here we go as human beings and change them and make them better, okay, than God. All right, but now we get all these problems. It's taking the minerals out of the water. It's like we're on a mission to take God out of everything. Isn't that interesting? Change what's original and make it something totally different. Okay, and that is, it's a common. It's like almost like a common theme, right? And it's and so here we are. Ugo does it better than anybody. He can tie the scripture into nutrition better than anybody I've ever seen. And he there's a direct correlation between nutrition and mental health. Okay, and so I had him talk to the leaders for Celebrate Recovery, and for a while, they made a change, and I noticed it right off the bat. I was real pleased with it. The kids, the youth, weren't interested in the nutritional, the the vegetables, right? So they changed, right? That's like that. That's like the cart pulling the horse, right? And the influence needs to go the other way. And there's people, and it's because nobody's doing enough physically where they understand that they need the nutrition. Like me, right? Like I'm 56 years old. Um, if I'm not eating right, my body tells me right away. I feel inflammation. I'll get cramps. Um, in the morning, and I don't want that. I don't want. So that's why I eat the way I eat. So anyway, but these all these people that needed to hear it. Mike's gonna go. Mike Caballero's gonna stop by Ruben's Grocery, and he's gonna take a load out to Houston and influence the guys in the oil fields. And he was telling me that they banned energy drinks, and one guy